This is a battle between humans and sharks, a fight for life and death. A group of 5 are trapped in the vast, endless ocean with no hope of rescue. These young people, in their wild youth, were having a blast on the waves. They were having so much fun that they tried crashing their jet skis into each other and swerving. But while they avoided it once, they couldn't avoid it a second time. 2 jet skis crashed into each other, sending everyone plunging into the sea. The vehicles were damaged, the people suffered broken bones, and, even worse, all 5 became prey to the ferocious shark. After a day and night adrift on the waves, 4 of the 5 perished. Why were they in the middle of the ocean? Let's find out in today's video recap. The boys and girls dance and sing on the beach, enjoying their spring break. That's Greg, Tyler, Millie, Nat, and Tom. The fun wouldn't be complete without alcohol. After finishing their drinks, they played a game of spin the bottle, and whoever lost had to go to the bar to buy more. Nat lost, so she had to leave. But instead of going to the bar, she went to a quiet corner, called her mother, and told her how much she missed her and how much she wanted to return home. Suddenly, a man with a disability asked her for money. She happily helped the unfortunate man. He asked where her friends were, and she said they were having a party on the beach. The man warned her to be careful of the great white shark, as it had appeared and caused him to lose his legs. Her friends came over, thinking the man was a bad guy, and pulled Nat away. The helpless man tried to tell her to be careful. The next morning, the young people continued their last spring break. Millie wanted Nat to go back to shore and continue partying, but Nat refused and just wanted to go to sleep. Under Millie's persuasion, Nat agreed. The boys on the other side discovered 2 jet skis. They tried to pry open the shed door to get the keys and then rode the 2 jet skis out to sea. Tyler and Tom went first, but Tyler lost his balance and fell into the water. Nat was worried about sharks, but luckily nothing happened. All 5 of them got on the skis and sped out to sea. They went too far from shore, so Nat said she wanted to turn back. But the 3 boys stubbornly insisted on having fun, causing the 2 jet skis to collide. All 5 fell into the water. Greg broke his leg. They tried to get him onto the jet ski for temporary first aid. Tyler hit his head and was a little dizzy, couldn't surface immediately. They decided to take Greg back to shore first, then pick up Millie and Tyler later. But unfortunately, the other jet ski wouldn't move. It seemed to have a broken engine. Greg, with his broken leg, tried to pull open the engine cover to fix it, but he slipped into the sea. At the same time, their phones, shoes, and beer that they had left on shore were swept away. No one knew they were missing and adrift in the vast ocean. In their desperate situation, Nat discovered that her best friend Millie and her boyfriend Tom had slept together. Tom saw the photos and tried to grab the phone, but they dropped it into the sea. They became even more desperate about returning to shore. Tom dived down to retrieve the phone and, after a long time, finally surfaced with it in his hand. Nat, heartbroken and dejected, could only sit in silence. Millie apologized, saying that it was because they were both too drunk that this happened. Greg, on the other hand, was exhausted and on the verge of collapse. Tyler remembered that they had encountered a yacht that was moving quite slowly at sea. He thought he could swim to find the yacht to save everyone, but Tom said they needed to stay together until someone arrived. Tyler was still worried about what would happen if no one came. Everyone else thought he should stay, but at this point, someone had to go to save everyone. Tyler swam away, filled with pride and trust from everyone. But he hadn't swum very far when Millie saw a shark approaching. They all shouted that there was a shark, but he didn't hear them. Suddenly, the shark dived and changed direction. They all trembled and fell into the water in shock at seeing the shark right beneath their feet. They struggled in the water, trying to escape the dangerous shark. Tom and Millie were lucky enough to jump onto the jet ski and escape. The shark bit Greg's leg, and Nat's hair got caught in Greg's watch, pulling her along as well. Nat managed to break free, and with her swimming and diving skills, she surfaced and escaped. But Greg would never return. The 3 survivors sat in depression, thinking about Greg, who had been dragged away by the shark. Tyler, on the other side, was trying his best to find the ship. Luckily, he spotted it and happily swam towards it. Meanwhile, Nat and Tom started arguing again about what had happened the night before. Tyler swam quite close to the ship and shouted loudly to get attention. But the man on the boat was playing music and didn't hear Tyler shouting underwater. Tyler decided to swim a little closer, but something went wrong. The shark reappeared and bit off one of Tyler's legs. Struggling in vain, Tyler sank and became easy prey for the shark. Millie and Nat began complaining about the increasingly intense sun. Tom thought he'd found a way to get the jet ski running again, but it wouldn't rev. The sun was setting and the sky was dark. The temperature dropped sharply and they felt cold. In the middle of the night, a boat was about 50 to 60 nautical miles away. They signaled for help, but it was too weak for anyone to know that 3 people were in distress. Tom was given the important task of swimming to the boat to call for help, but as soon as he got into the water, he was shivering from the cold and fear. What a coward. Nat had no choice but to get into the water and try to survive. Halfway there, she saw a person wearing a life vest floating on the surface. She swam closer, only to find it was just a corpse. Frightened, she returned to her motorcycle and informed her 2 friends. It might have been the boat's captain. The shark had sunk the boat and attacked the unfortunate man. Fear and exhaustion caused them to fall asleep. The sun rose again, and Nat woke up with a start from her nightmare. They saw some pieces of wood floating on the water. All 3 decided they had to do something to save themselves, otherwise they would become shark bait. Tom held Nat's hand so she could reach down to grab the wood. Millie said she needed the life vest because she couldn't swim, so they climbed onto the jet ski and went closer to the body to get one. The 3 continued paddling, but the rough seas were exhausting them. Suddenly, the shark reappeared, trying to bite, but Tom swatted it away. It quickly dove underwater, then unexpectedly reappeared and bit Tom's leg, causing him intense pain. At this point, Nat came up with a plan to get the jet ski moving. She told Millie to stand on the left, and she stood on the right, holding on tight to prevent them from falling. The 2 girls successfully opened the engine cover, but the shark wouldn't give up, swimming around and distracting them. Suddenly, it rammed the jet ski, sending them all tumbling into the sea. Tom narrowly avoided being caught in the shark's mouth, suffering serious injuries and bleeding profusely. Millie fell into the sea, and because she couldn't swim and was exhausted, the shark bit her leg, then carried Millie away. Now only Nat remained, struggling for life. She tried to open the engine cover, but when she finally did, the hose was broken and couldn't be reconnected. Thinking that only a risky move could save her and Tom, Nat jumped into the water and engaged in a fierce battle with the shark. She managed to stab it, but it also grabbed Nat's left shoulder. Fate didn't want the girl to die, so somehow Nat managed to reconnect the hose and start the engine, rescuing Tom from their desperate situation. But the shark continued to chase them and bit through the tail of the jet ski. Seeing they couldn't escape, Tom decided to sacrifice himself so Nat could return safely. Seeing its prey fall into the water, the shark didn't hesitate to attack. Nat, trembling with fear, drove the jet ski close to shore, but the shark still wouldn't let her go. Nat risked going into the rocky area, but unexpectedly fell in. The shark saw this and charged straight at her, but Nat managed to get back to shore. Disbelieving her eyes, she gasped for breath and lay down on the golden sand, gazing up at the blue sea and white clouds. She struggled to stand up, turned around, and looked back at the sea where her life was about to be taken. It was also the graveyard of her close friends. With a blood-soaked shoulder, the girl made her way back to town. The movie ends here. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.